Hello, I'm Alex Gill with Anime on Location, and we're here at ASEN 2011 with Steve Yoon, a guest of honor here at ASEN. Can you tell us of any further developments related to the Robotech live-action film or the Second Shadow Chronicles film that is coming out, or any other projects that you have going on?
Well, not much that we can publicly say about the live-action film. We're still in the early stages of it, working on the story, but as soon as there's anything to report, we'll definitely be talking about it. Shadow Chronicles has actually become part of the schedule for the live-action film. So when we know that when the live-action film is happening is also when we'll know when the next Shadow Chronicles will be happening as well. So that's where we currently are right now.
In the late 90s, you got your first job for an anime company working as a digital animator. Can you tell us maybe what you were working on that time or what your experience was like in the industry?
Oh yeah, it was actually motion comics. Most of the time I was spending, cutting out, characters from manga pages and shuffling them around across the screen and, doing that day in, day out, 80-hour weeks was pretty mind-numbing. But yeah, and after I got out of motion comics, then then it got a little bigger, and they had that Watchmen motion comic thing. So I was like, oh, I missed out on the good stuff. But yeah,
there's always good stuff coming out consistently. So. But I understand you were involved in the restoration of Super Dimension Fortress Macross. Can you tell us more about that experience, maybe similarities or differences in how you've worked in the animation industry and like creating animation versus restoring it?
Well, I wasn't directly involved in the restoration. Most of that credit has to go to Shin Kurokawa, who was at Animego. It was sort of a personal crusade for him, since he had also grown up on Macross. But we did give a little feedback on the restoration works, and Harmony Gold had to do a lot of digging around for elements that he could transfer. We were trying to look for the best source material that we could find for Macross.
There are issues between Tatsunoko and Big West, I believe, that are making it difficult for series within the Macross franchise to be seen outside of Japan. Can you tell us what kind of difficulties are associated with bringing series like Macross 7 or Frontier or Zero over to the States?
I don't think there's much I can say, just because I'm sure our legal department will say I'm saying it wrong. But I think what I could say is that for other Macross properties to come outside of Japan, several parties would all have to be in agreement on terms, and unfortunately we can't get all parties to agree. So we'd love to bring more Macross out. I grew up on Robotech and on Macross when I was young, and we'd love to see more Macross come outside of Japan, but that's currently where we are.
Now, in Robotech, it's made up of Macross, Southern Cross, and Mospeada footage. But there's one Super Dimension series that is missing, and that is Orgus. Were there any musings during the production of Robotech as to how Orgus could be fitted? I know with that space-time oscillation stuff, it's kind of hard, but do you have any ideas of how it could be fit into Robotech?
It actually was going to be in Robotech. It was originally planned so that it was going to be anything that had Super Dimension in the title was going to be put in. So it was going to be Macross, Southern Cross, and Orgus. And they thought, well, they could get away, since some of the characters look the same as in Macross, they thought they could get away with saying that this was them at a later time. But later on they decided, no, Orgus was a little too different in terms of content. And so they decided to go with Mospeada instead.
There are a number of fans who watch either Macross or Robotech for a variety of reasons. For fans who are of one or the other, how would you advertise the other series to them? How would you entice them to say, hey, you should watch Robotech because of this, or you should watch Macross because of this?
Just show it to them. And, there's a lot of fans who hate one or the other, in addition to, liking the show that they like. But, actively hating a show, it's entertainment, and it's there to entertain you. And if it's making you angry, maybe you're looking at entertainment the wrong way. It's, if there's something that doesn't make you happy, just ignore it. And unfortunately, people spend a lot of time arguing about Macross versus Robotech. But they're two shows, and there's plenty of fans who like both. And
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Robotech was the first mech series that I was introduced to. So.
Yeah, and there's enough room in your brain to enjoy two shows. So yeah. Or for some people, at least. But yeah.
I understand that you've hosted panels here at ASEN 2011. I went to your Giant Robot Rumble panel in 2009 and the one this year, and it's always really fun to hear what everyone has to say. Can you just share some experiences with your panels and maybe suggestions for people who want to host programming at conventions?
Yeah, the Giant Robot Rumble this year, usually I have two panels. It's the Robot Rumble, and then we have another one where it's the anime girl fight, where we argue about which anime girl would win in a fight, in addition to which robot would win in a fight. But this year, since my panels were back to back, I combined it, and then we made it which robot girl would win in a fight. And we had a lot of fun, and the whole time I'm making fun of everyone for showing up in the first place. And you know what? If you're at another con and you actually want to do a panel like this, go ahead, because I'm not copywriting this or anything. It's just here to make people laugh, and if other people want to do something similar at their cons, go ahead, because I actually got the idea for this from a similar panel that they did at Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. So I can't pretend this is my property and nobody better dare steal this from me. But
because everyone can put a new spin on it and just be
I actually started this just because at Comic-Con when they had their panels arguing about spaceships, they said they'd have the Star Trek Enterprise, Millennium Falcon, all these spaceships, and then when they had what's it called, the Argo from Star Blazers and the SDF-1 in there, they would always lose because they would say they're cartoon spaceships, they're not real like the Millennium Falcon,
If you've ever seen that wave motion gun roll.
Yeah. And they would say because SDF-1 is not real, it should be disqualified, and so because of that, we started making our anime versions of these panels. So yeah.
All right. If you could recall a favorite moment, from your work in the anime industry, what would it be?
I can't really say if there's one. There's several great moments we have. Usually at conventions. It's usually just about fan reactions. Just knowing that we made a lot of people happy is, we've had several of those moments. So, that's really what it comes down to. Is just we're here to entertain and just make people happy.
All right, cool. Thank you very much for your time, Steve Yoon, everyone.